The golden afternoon sun cast long shadows across Meridian Heights as Zara Mitchell, principal of Westlake Academy, pulled away from the school parking lot. At 42, with 15 years of educational leadership behind her, Zara had transformed Westlake from an underperforming school to one of the district's crown jewels. Parents, teachers, and students alike respected her firm but compassionate approach. "See you tomorrow, Mrs. Mitchell," called out Darnell, a sixth grader waiting for his bus. Zara smiled, waving back. "Don't forget your science project, Darnell." She adjusted the rearview mirror, catching a glimpse of her tired eyes. Today had been particularly demanding: budget meetings, teacher evaluations, and a tense parent conference. But that was behind her now. Marcus would be home tonight after 3 weeks of deployment training. Their daughter Nia had prepared a welcome home dinner. Zara turned onto Mapleton Drive, her thoughts drifting to the evening ahead. The familiar blue and red lights flashing in her mirror came so suddenly, she almost missed them. With a sigh, she signaled and pulled over, unaware that everything was about to change. Officer Trent Brady approached Zara's sedan, hand resting on his holster, while his partner, Officer Reed Donovan, positioned himself by the passenger side. Zara placed both hands on the steering wheel, visible, a habit Marcus had advised for any traffic stop. "License and registration," Brady demanded without preamble. "May I ask what I did wrong, officer?" Zara's voice remained professional, the same tone she used with difficult parents. "Rolled through that stop sign back there." His flashlight beam swept across her face, then the car interior. "License and registration. Now." Zara reached slowly for her purse. "I'm getting my wallet, officer." "Move faster," Donovan barked from the other window. "We don't have all day." She handed her documents through the window. Brady examined her license, his expression hardening. "This doesn't match your vehicle, Mrs. Mitchell." "This car registered to a Marcus Mitchell?" "That's my husband. We share the vehicle." Brady smirked at his partner. "Sure you do. Step out of the car, please." "Why?" "I wasn't speeding, and I definitely stopped at that sign." "Step out now." Brady's voice rose sharply. "Or we'll have to remove you." Zara stepped out, confusion giving way to apprehension as 3 more patrol cars suddenly appeared, lights flashing. "What's happening?" she asked. "This isn't necessary for a traffic stop." "Matches the description," Donovan muttered into his radio. "Black female, late 30s, driving a silver sedan." "Description of what?" Zara demanded. "Vehicle reported in a drug transaction," Brady said, pushing her against the car. "Arms out. Spread your legs." "That's ridiculous. I'm the principal at Westlake Academy. You can call the superintendent." Yeah. Everyone's innocent." Brady's hands roughly patted her down. "Check the car, Donovan. And call for female backup." Zara's heart hammered against her ribs. This wasn't about a stop sign anymore. It never had been. "Nothing in the car," Donovan announced, emerging from ransacking Zara's vehicle. "I told you," Zara said, straightening her jacket. "Now may I please?" Brady grabbed her wrist, twisting it behind her back. "You're being uncooperative." Pain shot through Zara's shoulder. "I've cooperated fully. This is completely, stop resisting." Brady shouted, loud enough for bystanders to hear. He slammed her against the car hood, the metal hot against her cheek. "I'm not resisting." Zara gasped as handcuffs bit into her wrists, too tight, cutting into her skin. A small crowd had gathered. Someone was recording. Zara spotted Mrs. Winters from the PDA, hand over her mouth in shock. "Please call the school board." Zara called out. "Tell them," Brady yanked her upright by the handcuffs. "Shut your mouth." When Zara tried to turn toward him, Donovan grabbed her hair, snapping her head back. He said, "Quiet." They dragged her toward the patrol car. Zara's heel caught in a crack, and she stumbled. Instead of helping her up, the officers let her fall. Her knees cracked against the pavement. Brady's boot pressed between her shoulder blades, forcing her face down. "Please," Zara whispered, tasting blood from her split lip. "I can't breathe properly." "Should have thought of that before resisting," Brady sneered, increasing the pressure. Stars danced in Zara's vision. Through the pain, one thought crystallized. She needed to reach her phone. She needed Marcus. "My rights," she managed. "One phone call." "You'll get it at the station," Donovan laughed, hauling her up by the cuffs. "If we decide to give it to you." The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead in the holding cell as Officer Jenkins, the only decent cop Zara had encountered, finally allowed her phone call. Her hands trembled as she dialed, wincing from the pain in her wrists where the handcuffs had cut her skin. Marcus answered on the first ring. "Zara? What's wrong?" "They hurt me, Marcus." Her voice broke. "Meridian Heights Police. 2 officers, Brady and Donovan. They said I matched some description. They've charged me with resisting arrest and assaulting an officer. I didn't do anything." A dangerous silence filled the line. When Marcus spoke again, his voice was deadly calm. "Which precinct?" "4th District." "Marcus, I'm scared." "Not for long. I promise you that." Marcus Mitchell ended the call and set his phone down with unnatural precision. His face, weathered by 17 years of special operations, betrayed nothing. But inside, a cold fury ignited, the kind his teammates recognized as far more dangerous than rage. He moved with practiced efficiency, first calling Lieutenant Commander Jackson, his former unit leader now working at the Pentagon. "I need everything on Meridian Heights PD, 4th District. Officers Brady and Donovan. Now." Next, he contacted Darius Wells, his childhood friend and now a civil rights attorney. "Zara's been assaulted by police. Meet me at 4th District Precinct in 30 minutes. Marcus retrieved his go-bag from the closet, not the military one, but the one containing a small digital recorder, miniature cameras, and legal documents prepared years ago for contingencies he'd hoped never to face. Standing before the mirror, he replaced his casual clothes with a tailored suit. No tactical gear. No weapons. Nothing that would give them reason or excuse. "Daddy? Where's Mom?" Nia appeared in the doorway, still holding the cookbook she'd been using for tonight's dinner. "Something's happened, sweetheart. Call Grandma to come stay with you." Before leaving, Marcus made one final call, to a journalist who owed him a favor from an embedded assignment in Afghanistan. "Be ready," was all he said. Within 3 hours, Marcus had transformed a corner of Darius's law office into a command center. Lieutenant Commander Jackson's data dump revealed a troubling pattern. Brady and Donovan had 17 excessive force complaints between them, all against minorities, all mysteriously dismissed. "They're protected," Darius muttered, reviewing personnel files his paralegal had obtained through back channels. "Captain Rayburn runs the 4th like a personal fiefdom." Marcus nodded, focused on his laptop. Not for long. His phone buzzed with messages from former SEAL teammates now in federal agencies. Access codes. Internal affairs reports. Body cam footage, supposedly malfunctioning during Zara's arrest. A text arrived from Mrs. Winters, found 4 witnesses with videos. Sending now. Marcus watched the footage, his expression hardening as he witnessed his wife, the woman who read bedtime stories to their daughter and organized food drives for underprivileged students, being slammed against a car, thrown to the ground, her face pressed into pavement. "Got location data," announced Terrence, a cyber specialist from Marcus's last deployment. Their patrol car was nowhere near any drug transaction reports today. They fabricated the whole thing. By midnight, Marcus had compiled a devastating dossier, footage from bystanders, dispatch records contradicting police reports, Brady and Donovan's history of targeting black professionals, and financial connections between Captain Rayburn and a bail bonds company profiting from questionable arrests. "We're ready," Marcus said, closing his laptop. "Tomorrow morning, we move." At 8 a.m. sharp, Marcus strode into the 4th District headquarters, flanked by Darius, 2 senior FBI agents, and a reporter from the Washington Post. The front desk officer blanched, immediately calling upstairs. Within minutes, they faced Captain Rayburn in the conference room, surrounded by the department's leadership and their legal counsel. "Mr. Mitchell, this is highly irregular," Rayburn began, his jowls quivering. "Your wife assaulted." Marcus placed a tablet on the table, playing synchronized footage from 4 different angles. "Is this your definition of assault, Captain?" The room fell silent as they watched Zara being brutalized. "These officers," Marcus continued, voice steel cold, "have targeted 17 black professionals in the last year. We have the evidence. We have the pattern. We have the financial trails." He leaned forward. "My wife spent the night in a cell with a concussion while you protected criminals with badges. You have exactly one chance to do the right thing." "Or what?" Rayburn sputtered. "Or I burn this department to the ground. Legally. Publicly. Completely." 3 days later, Zara stood beside Marcus on the courthouse steps as the district attorney announced formal charges against Brady, Donovan, and Captain Rayburn. News cameras flashed as the DA detailed the counts: assault, falsifying police reports, evidence tampering, and conspiracy. An independent commission, headed by a retired federal judge, had been appointed to investigate the entire department. Already, 23 cases involving the same officers were being reviewed for misconduct. The preliminary audit reveals a disturbing pattern of racial profiling and excessive force, the DA stated. "We've uncovered a quota system that incentivized officers to make arrests in certain neighborhoods and demographic groups. Behind them stood dozens of previous victims, doctors, teachers, business owners, all with similar stories, all previously ignored. This isn't just about my wife," Marcus told reporters. "This is about every person who's been treated as guilty because of their skin color." The FBI confirmed a broader investigation into civil rights violations would continue, focusing on departmental training, oversight failures, and the bail bonds company that had profited from hundreds of questionable arrests. 6 months later, Zara returned to her position at Westlake Academy to a standing ovation from students and faculty. The scars on her wrists had faded, though the psychological wounds healed more slowly. The Meridian Heights Police Department now operated under new leadership, with community oversight boards and mandatory bias training. Applications from minority candidates had tripled. At home, the Mitchell family found their rhythm again. Nia had started a youth advocacy group at her high school. Marcus had accepted a civilian consultant position focusing on departmental reform. "We changed something real," Zara said one evening, watching fireflies with Marcus on their porch swing. "Not just for us." Marcus squeezed her hand. "One call at a time." In neighborhoods across Meridian Heights, residents walked a little taller, looked police in the eye, and knew that justice, while imperfect, was possible.